Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, we're going to be preparing for another war with Britain. And I think we actually want to found a new army. An army of the Rhine. So, let's go ahead and build that. We're going to set them here in the Rhine HQ. We're going to call them the Army of the Rhine. Mexico sides with El Salvador and something. A liberal revolt. So what do we want? We got this guy as a stalwart defender. He's the culprit. Grab him. The fickle crowd. The populist base of the rural folk has turned against supporting foreign entanglements. Pressure from within has led the group to distance themselves from the anti-Russian League. French needs first. The people say no to foreign entanglements and no to foreign treaties. Prosperity at home or chaos abroad. No foreign power can successfully attack a fortified kingdom of France. It was a mistake to rely on them. They leave the anti-Russian League, or they must steer clear of these populist tides. They become weaker. I'm going to make them steer clear of these populist tides. They're already weak enough. No reason they couldn't be weaker, though. So, let's go ahead and throw... How big are most of my armies at this point? Yeah, we got, looks like a 65, 30, 15 pattern in a lot of these other forces, or something like that. 55, 30, 15. So we'll do the same here. It's a nice even 60, 30, and 15. And then for some of these others, I got a couple I can round up here. Got some uneven numbers, which I don't love, but that is what it is. We'll just go ahead and do that. And that area will be... They'll be recruited from this area, and so that when the British come into Hanover, we'll just bash them right there. And that'll be what it is. I'm going to set their mobilization methods to all the same stuff as our other armies. Is everyone smoking dope in the army? They are. Alright, so we'll activate that too. Look at this. Look at this. I've become better at video games. I'm actively improving the armies before they need to be improved. We're nearly finished with our society, our blitz of society research. We got mass surveillance spreading. So let's finish out the, these. Oh my goodness, we've almost got modern battlefleet tactics spreading as well. And I've got carriers, I've got battleships and carriers in my fleets. So that's good to go. So I'm not too concerned about that. Alright, now where are we with prestige? Great Britain is pretty strong in prestige, and the United States is there as well. So, if I decide to go after the British in Africa, it's going to be a heck of a fight. I'm going to need to try hard this thing. But I think I'm going to do it nonetheless. Because I want all of this. And we'll see if I can get all of that. It will probably lead to a large tax increase over an extended period. But that will simply be the nature of it. There's modern battlefleet tactics. And I gotta remember not to... I gotta not forget to switch to it. Shazam. It says it will make them more profitable. It's not true, but it will make them more effective in a fight. And that's what matters. Han National Movement... I may need to keep an army in the area just to make sure that the Han National Movement doesn't go buck wild. Why is China not surrendering to Spain right now? Oh, they are surrendering. They are in the process of being forced to surrender. Alright, well, them's the breaks. Maybe I should simply stop suppressing this movement and get it done. Just bite the bullet, fight the war, and then we'll be... Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight the war, and then we'll be ready to go. And I don't have a treaty with Great Britain or anything, a truce with them. I do not. Alright, so as soon as the Han national movement pops off, I'm going to start doing events to increase this. Just so that we can get it done. Because I don't want to be trying to fight 2 wars at once. How is the Army of the Rhine? Not increasing at the rate at which I would like. Denmark wishes to join my power block? Absolutely. Afghanistan wants to give us a tiny thing. I do not care for your tiny thing, Afghanistan. I would prefer to have a gigantic thing. A ginormous thing. Afghanistan backs down. Alright, well. I was going to offer them vassalhood, but they did not choose to take it, and that's what it is. How low is Netherlands' Liberty Desire? It is low. So, time to be a puppet. Limburg is just pretending to have left the Kingdom of the French. It's really still in it. We're going to reduce subject payments. And I'm still improving relations with them. Relations were pretty rough, but you know, that's how it is. Hey, Belgium, how you feeling? You feeling good about your decision to join my power block? The mob approaches. Belligerent crowds have been getting increasingly provocative when confronted by troops in Jiangsu. Hardliners and government are demanding tougher responses, while doves are calling for troops to stand down as the first hopeful step in de-escalation. A whiff of grape shot saved the day once, and it can be done again. I'm telling you, we need to show strength right now. Strength? Ha! Bullets are an admission of weakness. We need to talk, show them we're not afraid. That's how we'll get them. Disperse the crowds by force. 50% chance of more radical pops, 50% chance of reducing civil war progress, or order the troops to stand down. 50% chance of increased civil war progress, or fewer radical pops. I'm actually going to disperse them by force, because that had a chance of increasing the amount of radicals, which increases the maximum radicality of the secession movement. If I wanted to really galaxy brain this shit, I could bolster them. Let's do that. Let's bolster this movement. This is going to be really funny. If China gets involved, I can also steal a bunch more of China. This is the galaxy brain play. I do not know if I'm being intelligent here at all, or if I am simply being extremely silly. There's going to be new mechanics associated with. Actually, no, I'm not going to bolster this movement because bolstering movements, like things when you affect a movement, it sticks around for a little bit. Hey, mass surveillance unlocked. And flash freezing, which unlocks a new method for fish, which I will use. It's gonna make them more efficient. It made them more efficient, right? If it didn't, don't tell me. Yeah, it made number get bigger. Number being large is good. Whatever happened to that giant movie studio that the private sector was building over here? Yeah, here we go. Oh, it can't hire anybody. They're still making a lot of movies, though. That's pretty fun. We got trade centers. They should be exporting movies. They're not, but they should be. Them's the breaks, I suppose. North German unrest in Renani. Well, why don't they take a rest? New Army of West Africa needs a new leader. Let's say 2 pious traditionalist commanders, 1 ruthless explorer Bonaparte. Let's go with this guy. And we'll give him some promotions as well. How is the Army of the Rhine doing? It's getting up to the point that it needs to be at. That's good. Okay, so all of its infantry are hired. So that's good. That's doing well. We're building up a solid reserve now. And we're just waiting on this secession movement to pop off. How are you going down in 80? Maybe I'm silly. Maybe I'm not understanding why it went the way it went. But that's what happens, right? I could go to multiculturalism and piss off all of my interest groups. I could do that. That would solve the problem, kind of, except it wouldn't, even a little bit. Been a while since we've had an election. When are we going to have an election? September of 28. Oh, okay. So in about a year. That'll be nice. Min-mass immigration. You know, this is going slower than I was thinking it might. But it should. So if they get up to 90, and I can get an event that increases their progress by 10%, that'll just pop it off right there. Each man kills the thing he loves. The infamous dandy playwright, Oscar Cottrell, a communist aligned with the intelligentsia, has been sentenced to 2 years of hard labor on a charge of homosexuality. If he doesn't receive a pardon, we may as well have sentenced the arts and the Kingdom of France along with him. It has all the terrible beauty of a Greek tragedy, a tragedy in which I took part. The books that the world calls immoral are books that show the world its own shame. A genius deserves an exemption, Catholic Church salty, intelligentsia happier. Cottrell will be set free. We cannot be seen undermining our judges' verdicts. Petite bourgeoisie unhappy, 25 authority. That's not much, really. It is barbaric for this to be a criminal act at all. 20% of academics pops become more loyalist. 10% of clergymen pops become more radical. We could decriminalize homosexuality in 1927. That would be based. Let me take a quick look at my society, my census in here. Okay, so let's set it to none. Academics, 3 million academics. Clergy, 2.7 million clergy. So this is an overall significant net increase to loyalism. Let's do the third one. Legalize. Excellent. I'm very pleased with this outcome. Yeah, nice spike in loyalists. I really wish that the chart, that they'd fix whatever issue is causing this chart to not update properly, but them's the breaks. Can I get more legitimacy anywhere? Not really. Obviously, Catholic Church are totally marginalized. Are all those radicals we added creating a problem for their their government likingness? Not really. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty rock solid about all this. I've got a couple of humanitarians kicking around. If I put them in the government, I might be able to go to multiculturalism, and that would deal with this problem, but it's not really going to actually deal with that problem, because it's just going to piss off all my other interest groups. All the other groups. Let's check back in with the trade centers that I built last episode in Normandy and all these areas, and we'll see if they're downsizing. They're not. In fact, they've only gone up. They've only increased. They've chosen to increase the thing. That's extremely funny. In fact, a lot of these areas where we built small numbers of trade centers, they're now maxing out usage. Which means only one thing. Let's go ahead and buff up those trade centers even further. Did I have like some kind of You know what happened? I think I had a shortage in convoys for a while, and that's why I had a fall off in trade. I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened to me. Yeah, this makes sense. Those in Ile-de-France are chronically productive. The first Platinian pop has moved into East Anglia. Nice. I don't think I need to do that much more manual expansion of trade. I think the private sector can mostly handle that. Give me an event. Give me an event to give me 10% extra. Do it. Do it, coward. How's the power block? Power block is a little bit low. Lowest relations of the leader and rank. Netherlands... High liberty desire. Alright, well... Netherlands relations are rock solid here, right? Yeah. I think I have some treaties with Portugal I can just simply dispense with. Garda Convention. No longer binding, I can get rid of that. Avero Convention, no longer binding, I can get rid of that. And I keep Zambezi, right? Yes, I do. Those do not go back to Portugal, which is fine. Are you in my power block, Portugal? You're not. They left my power block, which, you know, makes sense. Leverage is a little low. Spain is their own power block. Let me see if I can get myself some good stuff out of this. Let me see. What do you want for trade privileges and, you know, maybe some cash? Now that I'm not currently paying you a huge pile of money. What about 10,000 per week? Oh, you like that, huh? What about 9,000? Oop, stop that. So you like that equally. 8,000? 7? Alright. For 8,000, they'll accept both investment rights and a power block embassy. I'm going to do it. And trade privileges are fine. September Convention. So that means my leverage is going to increase a lot, and hopefully that will put me up where I want to be to bring them into this thing. Into this, my lovely power block. To bring them once again back into the power block. I've still got 3 independent non-members. Who are they? Belgium? Sokoto, you're my puppet, right? Ethiopia definitely is. New Grenada. New Grenada could stand to be subjugated. And yeah, I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. I could definitely subjugate New Grenada. How much would this take? So this is 60% cohesion. I don't wish to do that right now. Because I'm getting ready for my big war. All right, Han Secession Movement. Let's get her going here. Quit delaying. Give me an event. Give me an event to boost it. Give me an event to bring up to make the war happen, sir. Still nothing. Oh, they're really biding their time over here. Unbelievable. Usually when you got a revolution brewing, you get an event every time it ticks up to the top, but I guess they've simply tired of giving me even more events. Wow, that's a comically low amount of infamy for regime changing a country in Europe. That's extremely funny. Now I'm looking into regime changing Britain. Into regime change, why? Because we're too ideologically similar. Oh, that's extremely funny. Oh my gosh, they're so freaking notorious. They still have a defensive pact with the United States? They do. Now would be a good time to go after them, but I gotta deal with this Han thing. It would be so unwise to wait to deal with this Han thing until... They're seriously gonna go back down? That's unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Partisan papers. Ah, we're in election season. Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating during this election season. Publications associated with the Republican Party have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. Read all about it. Honest politicians attacked by shameless cowards. Leading candidate for office issues heartwarming appeal to common man's heart. Man on campaign trail pets a puppy. Read all about it. The Republican Party has used the papers brilliantly. Extra momentum for them. Newspaper circulation is through the roof. This is a boom for publishers, extra paper mills throughput, or it is in the state's interest to limit the spread of lies, reduce momentum for the Republicans. So where are we here? Increase momentum for the Republicans is okay. So let's give them a little bit extra. Again, stronger intelligentsia, not necessarily a problem. That's going to bring down the Democratic Alliance, which is our baseline, but it's also going to bring down the jerks, the Resistance Party, and the FTSF. which is pretty weak under our current electoral system to begin with. Come on, give me an event. Give me an event that I can kick this thing off with. Eventize me, Captain. No? Still? Gosh, dang it. Frickin' A. Han National Movement, get it together. Jeepers. Again, I could bolster them, but I don't want to necessarily do that because I don't want to be stuck spending all of that authority, which I could be using for consumption taxes during the war. Rich get richer. Charlotte de Baille has thrown a soiree for the cream of the industrialists. Bribes, ill-disguised as donations, traded hands into the Democratic Alliance. With your help, this coming election, we shall make sure that those machines of yours stay greased and those ports stay open. Only 200 hands were in attendance, yet each clap was a thunderstroke to herald the passage of 1,000 ships. They're likely to spend it all on champagne, extra momentum. Someone ought to inquire about these donations, reduce momentum, industrialists mad. Or can't we put this corruption money to better use? Some momentum. Upper Star and Pops become more radical, extra labor, and socialist movement attraction. They're likely to spend it all on champagne. Give me that momentum. Portugal wants our support as their ally against the Sindhi uprising. We, of course, must accept. And all of our subjects go with it. That's fine. Where is... Oop. That's not what I wanted to do. They're here. Okay, that's fine. Yes. I'll happily naval invade this location when the time comes. Relations with Gaza damaged. Well, that's a shame. I'll start improving them. In fact, I'll start improving relations with all of these countries. Did I get an event just now? No. It was just pretending. It was just pretending there was an event. Let's go ahead and mobilize. Where is the Army of East Africa chilling right now? Oh, they're all in China. You guys need to come on home. Army of Central Africa, you need to be here. Army of East Africa, you need to be here. Is that everyone? That's everyone. Aggressive campaign. Roland Rapelin, following an address where he condemned the Democratic Alliance, has begun to mobilize dedicated partisans to oppose it in the election. An unprincipled morass, best served not in Parliament but in prison, devoid of positive achievement, a collective self-parody, an embarrassment to the French people. Down with the Democratic Alliance. There's certainly a better alternative. Extra momentum for the Union of Rights. Okay. Or a pack of miscreants indeed, significantly reduced momentum. So this is interesting. My current governing coalition is the Union of Rights and these guys, the Democratic Alliance. I'm gonna bolster the Union of Rights in exchange and reduce the loss to the Democratic Alliance because I want to keep my my governing coalition together. Wow, they're actually losing quite a bit. They're actually losing quite a bit. That's not ideal. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not ideal. I am going to leave taxes high for the time being because I want to increase my reserve, again, because I'm about to fight just a ginormous war, an absolutely massive war. And the thing about massive wars is when you fight a massive war, it costs just a comical amount of money. A really, really silly amount of money. Just stupid. Hey, we hit 1.9 billion GDP. That's pretty rad. A land of plenty. The country's high standard of living has resulted in a widespread sense of contentment with the status quo, favoring Mathieu de Baille and the sitting Union of Rights in the ongoing election. Change? Why would I want change? I've got a full belly, a happy wife, and a good job. Why would I squander that chasing what might be? If it's not broken, why fix it? Extra momentum for them. or laud his achievements, stronger armed forces, extra popularity for 10 years. I'm just going to give them momentum. That's kind of the longer-term investment, I think. So this is interesting. So the Union of Rights are about to overtake the Democratic Alliance as the primary party, which is a really interesting situation. What is going on over here? Portugal. Are you separately already in a war with the United King with Great Britain? You are. Oh my goodness. What is happening? Portugal, what do you stand to lose if you lose this war? Pray tell. Bombay, Gujarat, and the Maldives. Bombay and Gujarat, that's the area that's revolting right now, aren't they? No, they're down here. Great Britain. Doing a big expansionism. How dare you? Alright, so we're going to grab the army in East Africa. And we're going to invade. Oh, game's really chugging along. Game's really chugging along. Vicky 3, you can do it. Where's the army of East Africa? Are they still over here? They're over here. Alright. Socialist internationalism. The FDSF is receiving election campaign support from the communist trade unions in the two Sicilies. So comrades, come rally, and the last fight let us face. The Internationale unites the human race. Sicilian socialists are welcome here, 30% momentum. So the FDSF and the communist ideology will be more likely to appear, or try to limit foreign influence in the election, 10% momentum instead. I'm going with the second one. I'm doing big stakeholder anocracy, and stakeholder anocracy is incompatible with communism. Giants of the Seas. Raymond Caillard's use of battleships during the ongoing war has demonstrated that these massive constructions may still serve a purpose in modern naval warfare. The young girl looked wide-eyed at the ship floating in the harbor. It looks like it took all the world's steel to build. How many such boats are there? Of this immensity, only one, the admiral replied, but you can be sure that as soon as our enemies find out about it, there will be two miss. Their presence will be a compelling argument, extra influence, or by their might we will rule the seas, extra prestige from Navy power projection. I'm going to do the second one. Give me all that prestige. Shove it in my mouth. My body is a machine that turns free time into prestige in Victoria 3. Portugal is winning some of its fights against Great Britain, but not the one in Extremadura, which I believe is the one that contains is the state that contains the capital. Yes. All right. So they're about to lose their other war, which is a shame, but them's the breaks. And then we are going to land here, and hopefully this is going to go real fast and easy. Han's secessionist movement still slowly increasing in radicalism as the election nears. Still not giving me any events. Trying to get the thing going. That's weird. That's got to be some kind of a bug. This is just very slowly increasing. Soon we'll be producing high-grade explosives, and that will allow us to corner the explosives market on the world. The explosives market in the world market, hopefully. There's our election. So, we have a free government reform. We are basically as legitimate as we can be, though. Pulling anyone else in would significantly drop my legitimacy. There's the Sindhi suppression crushed. So that should be good to go. And I guess we'll get to the end of 28 with no civil war. I was really, really hoping that that I could get this popped off and ready to go, but I guess not. Gosh, I don't want to lose a bunch of territory to a civil war, to a secession movement, just because it happened in the middle of an enormous war with Great Britain. But I'm not getting my events. They are slowly working their way there, but not fast enough. They are radicalizing a ton of pops. Was this war unrelated? I suppose it was. Army of East Africa has attrition. Why? Oh, because they're crossing unfriendly territory for some unfathomable GD reason. Alright, there we go. Okay, now their organization's going back up. Having a real dickens of a time here. I'm sorry, I know this doesn't make incredible television here. Maybe we'll throw in a consumption tax just for funsies. I got a lot of things I could potentially tax. Telephones produce a lot, radios too. But let's go with glass. I don't necessarily want to tax telephones and radios. Those are big ticket items. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe we will pop back to middling taxation for now. Now that we're making so very much on consumption taxes. Look at that consumption tax number. 3.66 million. That's more than income taxes and poll taxes combined, and it's not close. That's almost double income taxes and poll taxes. Consumption taxes are huge in the end game. Alright. They've hit 99%. So the popping off at this point is, cross our fingers, it's inevitable. Maybe I'll just let the episode go until they hit their pop-off point. End of spring events somewhere. International telephone exchange. It's been suggested that by establishing a cross-border telephone exchange with the Empire of Japan, we can improve relations more easily. It certainly cuts down on misunderstandings, so we can just pick up the telephone and work out what's going on across the border. Sounds like a good idea, improves relations, or I don't think so, doesn't. Sounds like a great idea. No, actually the episode's already going a little bit long. We'll finish it out after this. A crisis of health. A prominent French political exile, Charles Maurras, has fallen severely ill during his time overseas. They're cutting off his leg! They're cutting off his leg! He has petitioned to return home for enough time to seek medical treatment. The character of a man matters not. Pestilence may well come for them all to sing. He should face the consequences of his actions. He dies. We can afford to display mercy to the sick. He increases in health. We get extra prestige. Or he may feel free to stay after he is treated. He joins the country. Charles Marat. He is 60. He's a 60-year-old fascist. He can come back, but he can't keep agitating. Them's the breaks. He was trying to do a fascism in France for too long, and there are consequences for that. That having been said, that is all the time we've got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.